So the J22-B. Didn't actually expect to make a video on this one because it's 2.0. You're just clubbing people that played the game for about 20 minutes so far. But I got 8 kills, and you know the rule, it's going up on my channel. It's quite a mediocre plane, to be honest. Like, it's bad at pretty much everything. Except for the energy retention. The energy retention is pretty decent for 2.0. But the best way to sum it up is that it's basically a battleship in the terms of guns and in terms of the turning circle. You saw it in the intro as well. Those weren't cherry picked. Those are basically all my kills. I didn't put everything in because I did also put in some really bad sprays and some really bad aiming on my end. But whenever I connected the guns, they mostly just nuked the enemy plane. And we're gonna start off with that Heinkel 100. This thing is kind of the equivalent of the Heinkel 100, but in reverse. The Heinkel 100 has that amazing performance, but it doesn't have any guns. And you have this thing, which is an absolute shit barn. But the guns, you saw I just one-tapped him. I didn't even need to shoot that second burst. I just shot his plane to bits. Of course I pilot sniped that one. But getting those one-taps, and especially at this tier, where everyone has those low-tier crews, and everyone has 20 minutes of gameplay, and they don't really know what to invest into with the crew points, you're gonna end up with a lot of pilot snipes. But even without pilot snipes, you will mostly just tear people apart. And right now I'm facing a full down tier, facing 1.0. My team is in a disadvantage, which is exactly what I want to see. I'm gonna start off with the Heinkel 100, because he will give me the most trouble in the long run. So what I do is I go a bit sideways, so he can't really push the head on, and he has to pitch up further for me. He's gonna bleed even more speed. He's not gonna get the shot. Nowhere near to getting this shot. I'm just toying with him at this point. He's gonna stall out. If I did a loop straight down there, I wouldn't have been able to turn into him, because this thing turns pretty poorly. The good thing about the turn rate though, when you reach about 350 or higher, you will start turning quite nicely with the flaps. But of course you're still at 2.0, and when you face stuff like the DF-109 E1 and equivalents, just look at that. That thing is an absolute tank. But when you face those 109 E1s and equivalent, as I said, Spitfires and all those kind of things, you turn very poorly. Like, you turn decently enough in an up tier, but your energy is so poor that you can't do anything with it. I really wanted this kill, and you see I start to spray and he didn't really want to die. Also some bad aim on my end. But he's going down, he's going neck-G'ing right into the ground. And that's already 5 in about 2 minutes of gameplay. And at this point it's basically cleaning up. There's a Heinkel 51, he looks to be kind of slow, he looks to be kind of falling out of the air at this point. And that's a D3A1 on the runway, and I'm not going anywhere near that base AA, because that base AA will absolutely tear me apart. So I'll just wait for that D3A1 to repair and take off, and in the meantime I'll go kill more people, because I'm flying low tier to get kills. And getting kills we did. We sure did. This Heinkel 51 is basically falling out of the air. Just miss. Doesn't matter, I shot his wing off, I don't know how he survived. And then I shoot his right wing, and the left wing comes off as well. Because, you know, 50 cals. And some people say that these are the equivalent of M2 50 cals. But in reality, they're quite a bit stronger. They actually have HE effect. I'm not too sure how hard or how much, but I've heard that they're around the same load as a Shevak. And you might think that the Shevak is pretty poor. But these Shevaks are actually accurate. They have a very high velocity. As well as the fire rate is a lot higher. And mostly you only have one Shevak. So all in all, and you also have to take into account, of course, that you're fighting 2.0. And you're mostly getting down tier. They've only got up tier twice. And I saw stuff like P-39s and those kind of planes, and they absolutely push your shit in. Like, you're not going to do anything. You might as well give up. Luckily, in one of them I had a pretty nice teammate who baited everyone for me. Who was just flying around me, flying circles in his P-39. So thank you for that. You know who you are if you watch this. Because you did know me. That helped me out a lot. Otherwise I'm not gonna do anything. And I mean it, not one thing. So it's a bit hard. And as of right now I see a dot in the distance, which is possibly a bomber. And I see the D3A1 on the runway. So what I wanted to do was fly towards the bomber, and maybe by the time I reached the bomber, this guy would have been far away from the base. But then I noticed that there are some teammates lurking the bases as well. So I turn around and I want to cut him off the base as soon as I can. Because I don't want him to get too much separation. I want to be there first. But the good news is it's only a J8A and he only has 8mm. That's a P36 on the field. He's dead. So I'm looking quite safe at the moment. At least I can guarantee myself a 7. And then if all goes well, I can also get the 8. Which would be great. But I hope you can clearly see that even though I get 8 kills, that the plane is quite situational. And the moment people climb above you, you kind of die. I haven't really died in it yet. I died to some guy pushing a head-on that didn't die to me for some reason. One of the instances where the guns didn't work. So I can't really show you the moments I really struggled in this thing. But I can tell you that this plane will suffer quite a bit versus planes from 2.0 and up basically. The 1.3s and the 1.7s aren't that much of a problem. The Ki-27 might actually screw you up a bit. But other than that, I can't really think of planes that are lower beyond than you that don't like suffer, but mostly because of your guns. You just reel them out of the air. You basically only need to get one firing solution and they can't one-shot you. This thing is pretty tanky from what I've been able to tell, but I've only been hit by stuff like 7.7s. So keep that in mind. This plane isn't a real clubber. It is a clubber, but not in the way as you're used to it. Like not like the 109E1 as I said before, where it has climb rate, it's decently fast, it has loads of ammo. They're not the best rounds, but the plane is good enough to maintain firing solution forever. It's just so good. The flight performance is so good on that thing that the guns barely matter. But on this thing it's the other way around. So if you're looking for a real clubber that's real brain dead, go for something like the 109E1. And if you want something that's more of a meme, that's more of like, look at me, I'm gonna reel you out of the air at 1.3 kilometers. Fly this thing. You're not gonna get a lot of hits with this. And mostly if you hit someone and you do get a hit or a crit, they're mostly completely toast. So you should be fine. Just fly it out. But don't expect it to dance circles around people. If you miss the head-on, you're basically dead. The gameplay itself is a bit too frustrating for me to enjoy too much. The guns were a good meme, but after 50 kills I was a bit done with it. I was gonna push it to 100, as I do with most planes that I want to do a video on. But I wasn't going to do it. But yeah, that's game. Now we're just gonna fly around for the tickets to bleed. I'll show you the result screen as per usual. And that's basically it. I also got an 8 kill in the J21. The Jet one, the RB, which will be going up either tomorrow or Monday. So look forward to that. This was a bit of a shorter one, so I might just make the J21 right now, because it's only about 8 minutes of recording. And the J21 video is not that long either, so I can probably do both and then upload the other one tomorrow. And that's basically it. Have fun with the result screen, and I will see you in the next one.